Well, many gathered today for the homegoing celebration of a hero. At 112 years old, Lawrence Brooks was the oldest World War II veteran before passing away January 5th. And on this same weekend, we also celebrate the birthday of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Brooks served during a tumultuous time in America when Dr. King marched for civil rights and fought for equality abroad, the two forever leaving their stamps on American history. Candace Charles has more on their legacies.
As we lay one American hero to rest, we celebrate the birthday of another.
Live united!
January 15th marks the birthday of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., an activist who marched and fought for civil rights. Rights that World War II veteran Lawrence Brooks wasn't afforded, even while risking his life for his country.
During World War II, the U.S. military was segregated, and he certainly faced discrimination and racism.
At 112 years old, Brooks was the oldest living World War II veteran before passing on January 5th. Saturday, on King's birthday, the World War II Museum honored him.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring.
Both men carried on to the hate for a better tomorrow, and decades later, we all continue to applaud their efforts.
The fact that they stayed focused and fixed on the notion of humanity, right, and fighting for it all, again, speaks volumes about the ways in which they were willing to sacrifice themselves.
But Professor Andrea S. Boyles of Tulane University says, as we remember the two this weekend, we must do more than celebrate.
Some of the things Dr. King sacrificed his life for, we're still fighting for.
Such as voters' rights and ending voter suppression.
We have reached a point where, yet again, we need to act. And they both did just that. And so we ought to take those examples.
From the battlefield to the pulpit, both men went into battle with their heads held high.
Both gentlemen exceeded that, right? They actually acted on freedom and humanity for people. And so we'd like for their memories, if they're going to be recalled, we'd like for that to happen in action and not by virtue of words.
So as we celebrate the legacy of World War II veteran Brooks and the accomplishments of civil rights trailblazer Dr. King, we can look to them to continue to make effective change.
We are to pattern ourselves, especially those who sit in spaces of power, to pattern themselves not by virtue of words, but by deeds, to pay homage.
Candace Charles, Eyewitness News.
Brooks leaves behind a huge family, including 11 grandchildren and 22 great-grandchildren. A little later in the show, we'll have information on Day of Service projects in honor of Dr. King.